What's good? Remember to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss an episode.
The Draymond Green Show with Baron Davis doesn't happen without you, so please subscribe.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Draymond Green Show with my dog, BD. What's happening, champ?
What's up, my dog? Follow the show on Twitter, Draymond Green Show, so you don't miss all these dope announcements. In today's episode, we'll talk about, obviously, the Warriors. We'll talk about LeBron shooting slump. And then we'll also react to the ESPN Top 25 list, under 25. I'm excited, man.
List.
Oh, man, it's,
I hate them fucking lists. But I hate
Tell me
lists,
about it, dude. Tell me
But
about
you know
it.
what? I'm going to stay on track, and we're going to get into that. But before we get into that, I got to holler at my folks. What's up, Dub Nation? I love y'all. We love y'all. I know everybody's going to tune in here and be like, all right, I need to hear what's going on with the 4-game losing streak and how where's the team mindset at? And of course, when you're winning, everybody's like, oh my God, they're back. It's 2022 all over again. And then when you lose a few, everybody's like, oh, they need to make a trade immediately.
Yeah.
And it's kind of this wave. How we feeling right now? Obviously, we feel like we got to win. You can't just keep dropping games. And I think, and I have spoke about this before, it's also one of the reasons that you want to get off to a good start. So when we got off to a 12-3 start, I think that's why you want to log them games, because the reality is you hit these rough patches during the season. And sometimes you can want to do everything right. You can feel like things are going right, and it just don't go your way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's why you want to log them games when you can early on in the season to kind of give yourself a little cushion. And so here we are riding a 4-game losing streak, and we're still 2 games out of first, but we're also 2 games out of 11. I think our mindset is we got to get back to what was making us successful. We were defending really well, and offensively the ball was moving. You know what I'm saying? We were cutting, we were knocking down shots. But we were knocking down shots because we were getting great shots.
Yes.
I think the quality of our looks over the last 2 weeks have dipped dramatically. And so, in turn, you're not shooting as well. And, things get a little thrown off. So, we are confident. We're confident. We know we're still the same team we were a week and a half ago when we were sitting at 12-3.
Yeah.
And nobody's in a panic. But when you lose 4 in a row, shit got to change.
Man, I'm watching, when things is rolling and the magic is happening and the energy is high, and then, bad shots hit are great shots, right? When you get in that lull and you take bad shots, you know what I mean? Then bad shots starts to mess with your pace. You know what I mean?
1,000%.
And that's what I'm really seeing in these last 4 games is like, man, it's just the energy of the Magic kind of caught up to being in like, oh, like I can just shoot this shot and now your pace is off. So getting back to like a solid pace. And then I also have to say this, man, it's early. We talk about, preparation month to month, winning the month. The month of November is over. December is a new month. But I feel like y'all banged up a little bit. You know what I mean? And I've been watching you specifically, dog. And I'm glad we got this show because I wanted to, I feel like I'm looking at you and I'm like, Dray a vet. We gotta manage Dray for long-term future. I was just saying something. I want to know how you feeling because I know you're going to be questionable for tonight. And then, automatically as your OG big bro, man, time.
So,
you know what I mean? Take your time. And we want to know how you feeling for real, though.
So, interestingly enough, I've played every game this year, which has kind of been a goal of mine. And the goal ain't to play like 82. The goal for me is when I'm healthy, I'm on the court. You know what I'm saying? If that's 82 games, then the goal becomes 82. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I've been around this long enough to know that throwing out these frivolous goals, hey, I'm gonna play for 82 games. Like, if it happens, great. But when you start to throw out goals, being a guy who's a part of a team that won 73 games, I remember chasing that 73.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I played concussed at 73, and I ain't tell nobody. But I had got whacked by Joe Ingles, who was playing in Utah, and it was coming towards the end. And man, I drove home dizzy as hell, like for days. At that time, I was living in Berkeley Hills. So it's the windy roads.
Oh, you really?
And man, I'm driving up there, and like for days, I'm just a little dizzy. But we a little foggy, right? But we're really close now. We're really close now to closing in on that 73. So I'm like, I can't miss a game or two. I can't go in the concussion pro. So I ain't tell nobody, but I was fucked up. I was concussed. And being someone who's been a part of that, I know the toll that it took. You know what I'm saying? I know everything that you're uphill, fighting uphill against. And so to make a goal like, oh, I'm trying to play 82 games, sometimes you just rolling out there on the stretch in a wheelchair.
Man, for real.
And no disrespect to people with disabilities. I'm just using the term.
Yeah.
You rolling out there pieced together, I would say. You rolling out there pieced together. And just to say I'm playing 82, but you probably really shouldn't be on that floor, you know? And so my thing coming into this season, like if I'm healthy, I'm on the court. And that's been my mindset, and I've played in every game. Over the last few games, I've been a bit beat up, but still feeling healthy enough to get out there on the floor and try to help my team.
Yeah.
And over the last couple of days, since I started to get this calf tightness in my left calf. And the last time I got left calf tightness.
You was out 3 months the last time that happened.
You know
That's why,
saying?
that's my concern, right? Because it's, hey, you playing hell of a defense. You playing great this year. And, it's you older, you extending yourself, you guarding Wemby's, you guarding dudes like that. And so, load management makes sense when it makes sense. You dig what I'm saying?
For
and
sure.
That calf, I don't want you going through that. You know what I mean? So it's that's why, I think we all out here in Dub Nation are really just, want to see you healthy, bro, and see 100%. You like the warrior that you are, the dog that you are, the intellect, you just, you know so much, and you can weave through this calendar and this schedule and be like, okay, this, and that. But it's important for the Dubs to have that healthy Draymond Green, because that's 12-3. You know what I mean?
1,000%.
That's what 12-3 look like. Yeah.
1,000%. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. And so with the experience that I have now in this from what I went through in 2022, leading up to me missing those 3 months, there was games, and they all in a row of like, yo, my left glute's really tight, and I'm trying to roll it out and doing different things. And I'm like, man, it just ain't, it'll loosen up a little bit and then come right back. But again, I didn't have the knowledge that I have now and the experience that I had. And so in my mind, it wasn't an L5S1 issue. It's just my glute type, because I didn't even know all those things connected at that time.
Oh, man.
And so the symptoms that I was getting, I'm just like, oh, that's a symptom because I've been playing games. And I didn't know what I was up against. So this time, some of the symptoms that I felt, I'm able to better navigate and knowing all right, you felt this. This could mean this. You may need to slow down,
Yeah, it's okay.
And so I think the idea of it right now is tonight, it's an in-season tournament game. Like I need to be out there for this game. But at the same time, I've seen this movie before. You know what I'm saying? You go out there chasing one game.
Bro, I lived the movie. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I
And
lived
so
it.
I'm just like I'll be 100% honest. I'm a little afraid, like to go through what I went through
Mhm.
2 years ago
Yeah.
and missed 3 months. Like I'm a little afraid right now.
No,
But in saying that, I have confidence in our staff.
oh
I
yeah.
have confidence that I'm getting ahead of it right now because I just got all these crazy symptoms and I don't need to ignore every symptom. Every symptom that I have right now currently, ignoring those symptoms, I know where they lead me. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
it's
And I don't want them to lead me there. So if I can catch it
yep.
right now and miss a game or two or three, you
It's
know what I'm
better to
saying,
do it
as
now.
opposed to missing 2 or 3 months,
Yeah, it's better to
the
do
the
it now.
smart thing to do is to catch it right now while I'm already getting these symptoms. And so that's kind
It,
of where I'm at with it.
man, and I think for like the viewers, my whole career, bro, I came into the league, ACL from college, then played the first year, had torn cartilage. Then the next year was like, oh shit, my back. What's happening with my L4, L5. And like
Mhm.
what I want people to know, just through my experience, is like that back ain't nothing to play with. You could
No.
slip, you can get hit the wrong way, right? But it's also like, I think the scary part of injuries is like, oh, this hamstring is not bothering me. I can play through it. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, it's your Achilles. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or
Yeah.
my calf is bothering me. And then all of a sudden your back go out. Right. And so, just being able to like, I know what you mean when it's like it's scary because like that was
Mhm.
my whole career. Like playing in New York, I came in with a back injury. I left with career ending knee surgery. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
it was
Mhm.
because you ramp up so much, right? That you're not thinking about pacing.
Mhm.
And then
For sure.
when you feel good, you're not thinking about that injury until something weird, you feel some type of weird tweak. And so
For sure.
injuries with the psychological, especially as you get older, like I think it's more important to be way more conservative. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because it's the longevity of it. And I don't think the fans really understand that, you can have a bad elbow. You can have an elbow tendonitis, and then next thing you know, you got a bad back,
Yeah.
right? And so injuries
Mhm.
compound if you don't, take the time to let your body and your mind and the trainers help you solve the problem and solution. So we want to see you back, but we also want to make sure, man, that you are taken care of and you making sure that it's a pace. You know what I mean?
No
It's a
doubt.
great season. You're still in fourth, right? 2 games out
Mhm.
of first. The West is wild. And then we also saw Steph, we talking about we getting into December, right?
Yeah.
December, then January, February, most pivotal month, right? As far as
Yeah.
positioning. And then we heard Steph say, okay, we got this 13-man rotation. Do we need to shorten it?
Mhm.
We probably need to be more predictable on a night-to-night basis so guys can get a little bit of rhythm. Is that shortening it to one or two guys? Maybe. I wanted to get your take because you in the field. Like, explain to these people. You start the season. You know what I mean? 13,
Mhm.
but I think what Steph is saying is you're just starting to get to okay. It's December time. Christmas start, and now for y'all, Christmas basketball season is earlier than
Mhm.
it used to be. It used to be Christmas Day. Okay, I'm finally in shape. I'm finally in rhythm. National TV game is cracking. Now with
Yeah.
the in-season tournament, you know what I mean, and the Emirates
Mhm.
Cup, it's like, damn, that's a whole month ahead. You got to be
Yeah.
ready to rock and roll.
It's crazy because I think of a guy when I came into the league, who was more of your era, but was still going when I came into the league, uh, was OG Andre Miller.
Oh yeah,
OG Andre
that's
Miller
my
used to
dog.
give me fits. At that time, just so y'all know, I actually had to guard point guards when I first did. And like the whole, like that's my matchup. And Andre Miller used to be my matchup when I would come in the game because you
Oh
remember Dray
man,
used to post up. Dray
yeah,
used to go
bro.
play the
Yeah.
dunker. Dray used to
Oh
do this
man,
thing where he would stand out of bounds under the rim. And as a defender, if he's underneath the rim out of bounds, I can't just stand in the paint because I'm now considered in the defensive 3-second zone. And so you have to go cleanse. And when you go cleanse, he come
he
right back
jumped
in,
right
catch the ball, and lay it up. And he had all these little tricks to the trade. But one of the things that I remember Dray Miller used to say is, in the offseason, I let my body naturally recover. I let my body naturally heal. And then I let my body naturally get back in shape. And I work my way back into shape. And so he didn't do a ton in the offseason. And come back, as you know, at that time, training camp was 3 to 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, training camp is 3 to 4 days. And he would work his way back into shape. And guys would work themselves back into shape. Nowadays, you're not allowed, if you don't come into season in shape, you are so far behind the 8 ball
for sure
that for the rest of the season, you swimming uphill. You swimming upstream because now guys are in shape. And so you playing catch up while they're getting in better shape. Then at the speed that the game is going, because everybody already came into shape, now you tweaking stuff. So now you fighting against that and all these different things. And so for us now, you have to come into shape into the season in shape, which is a drastic change for guys in the NBA. And so that's been one of the biggest differences since I came into the league. When I look back at it now, and just where we are now today, it's getting further and further that way. Like you just mentioned the in-season tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like those games are like playoff intensity. You know, and if you're not in the shape to bear that, it all goes downhill from there. And you could be playing catch up on something past the in-season tournament because you've gotten hurt. And so
when y'all start the season, that was the end of our preseason. Every year we knew that Halloween was when the season started. You know what I mean? Now y'all starting October 15th, 12th, flying across the country. And it's like, you don't even get a break, right? You got to really stay in shape the whole time. Because to your point, if you come in now, y'all play so fast.
Yeah.
And so being in shape is one thing. Being in basketball shape is another thing. Being in basketball shape and being in rhythm is another thing. So if you gotta kick all that up by October. So by October, you got to be in your December, you know what I mean, form in October in order to start getting ready for playoffs. That's why you see a lot of injuries, though. Even with the cup, it's like, man, and people don't understand the intensity of playing for something early in the season you just exert way more energy than you do on a double overtime game in the you know what I mean? It's just like your sensors are up. You know what I mean? The sensors are high.
Calf, and these injuries you speak of, myself tonight, calf, right? Like, it's calf injuries, it's hamstring injuries, it's soft tissue injuries.
Because you're not all the way there.
Which more often than not comes from fatigue, overuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are where those injuries come from. And so I'm not one to sit and complain about them. For me personally, I think, people will say like, yo, you should shorten the season. I don't believe that. And the reason I don't believe that is because, we played, it goes back to what I said to Jason Tatum when I was telling him we should all play in the 2020 Olympics in 21. We started just to build Hall of Fame resumes. The guys that played before us played 82 games. In order for us to compete against them as far as resume building, we need those 82 games. Another reason I don't think the season should be shorter. Who taking less money? Everybody always be like, oh, if they only play 70 games as opposed to 82.
12 games you don't get paid.
That's 12 less games somebody getting paid. That's 12 less gates that's being collected. That's 12 less TV appearances of TV games.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Which means that's 12 less sponsorships on the court. That's 12 less sponsorships on the seat. That's 12 less games. That's 12 less games of sponsorships on the stanchion of the hoop.
Yeah.
That's 12 less opportunities to make millions of dollars. Who taking less money? No. So when people are like, oh, they should shorten the season. No, they shouldn't. Because ain't nobody agreeing to take less money.
Not at
and
all.
if you shorten the game, the games and the schedule, that math just don't work. So I am not of that consortium of like, oh man, guys should sit out. I mean, should shorten the season. No, when you're hurt, this is what we do, and this is a part of what we do. A part of what we do is getting injured. Like when you play what we play in the NFL, it's not if you get an injury, it's when.
Yeah.
So that's just a part
back.
of what we put our bodies through. Yeah. And people just need to understand that guys are going to get hurt. And that's just the reality of it. And you should know and trust that guys want to be on the court. Guys are working their ass off to get back on the court. But even more importantly than working their ass off to get in the court, the work that guys are doing to stay on the court, you'd never imagine. And so know and trust as fans of this sport that injuries are going to happen. That's just the nature of what we put our body through with the travel, with the pounding, the competition that we go into, battle that we go into night in and night out. The injuries are going to happen.
The NFL season's rolling along. The contenders are separating from the pack. The one thing that hasn't changed this season is DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, our friends at the Volume. It's the number one place to bet touchdowns. Fade to the corner of the end zone, running back breaks through the line, gallops 60 yards for a touchdown. They don't care how you get them. They want to bet on touchdowns, and you should at DraftKings, the best place to do it. If you're ready to place your first bet, make it simple. A player scoring a touchdown, just go to DraftKings Sportsbook app, takes 90 seconds, download it, make your pick. Here's a reason. New customers, do a touchdown dance of your own. Bet $5, that's it, and get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Score big, DraftKings Sportsbook, number one place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code Colin, C-O-L-I-N. Got to use the code C-O-L-I-N. Get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins, betting just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
So the 13-man rotation to start a season, that it's almost like you're validating that, saying that like it's important to play a lot of your players early in the season based on preserving, your superstars or, you guys have a 13-man rotation. Now Steph is saying we got to start cutting. Can you just explain 13 and how you start dwindling, as far as the season go, how you start like ramping up and ramping down in your rotation to get prepared for the playoffs?
So interestingly enough, as you know, most people don't start ramping down until after the All-Star break. You start to kind of shorten that rotation.
Yep.
All of a sudden, if you were playing 11 guys, now you're playing 9. You know what I'm saying? You get in the playoffs. Some people only go 8 deep. You know what I'm saying? And when you get in the playoff games,
some people
that's
go
never
7.
Been our 7.
It's really
if you go back and look at any Steve Kerr coach team, that's never been our MO. It's only 7 or 8 deep. Never, ever been our MO. Right. That's why you've had the Ian Clarks. You know what I'm saying? That's why you've had those different Quinn Cooks. You know what I'm saying? Guys who Quinn Cook played in the NBA Finals, man. Like Quinn Cook is a 2-time champion. Yeah. Quinn Cook played in the NBA Finals. Like he didn't just like
even Nick Young played.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and his sorry ass.
And Swag's a little different. Like Swag's career in the league, he was a 20-point scorer before close to it. You know what I'm saying? Yep. But I mentioned the guys like Ian Clark and Quinn Cook. It's because they were fringe guys. You know what I'm saying? They were fringe guys that worked their way onto teams through free agency.
My other dude, what's the other dude? McCall.
Oh, Patrick McCall. Well, he was a second-round pick, but you got like the Juan Toscano Anderson.
Yeah,
like
all
those,
them dudes.
Damian Lees. Like those
Damian
guys.
Lees, all them dudes played.
out the mud, undrafted, worked their way up through the G League, made the team, and then actually contributed. The reason you know those names that has competed with us and won championships are because Steve has never, ever been the guy who's just going to run his guys into the ground. All right, so now let's take this a step further. The top two guys is 34 and 36, about to be 35 and 37. Do I run them into the ground?
No way.
Or do I take advantage of what Mike Dunleavy has done and use all this depth that I have?
Yeah, y'all got a squad.
When we were just 12-3, everybody's like, oh, man, they're using depth and it's working. When you lose 4 in a row, like Steph said, there is always something that has to change. And the first thing you're going to look at, because it's the most abnormal thing in our ecosystem.
That's more like, we're not talking about, usually it's like, okay, 9, maybe a coach play 10. If you got an 11-man, like from a coach's perspective, like an 11-man rotation, bro, is insane. You know what I mean? A 13-man rotation.
It's unheard of.
It's unheard of, bro. You gotta be out of your mind to be able to understand rhythm, flow, time schedule, playing time, who play 13 people, you know what I mean? And so
it's tough.
I mean, it's tough to get a rhythm. Like,
and
you know, like
to Steph's point.
Yeah.
Right? Like to Steph's point. He said, do we need to shorten it? We probably need to be more predictable on a night-to-night basis so guys can get a little bit of a rhythm. Is that shortening 1 or 2 guys? Maybe. So to Steph's point and what Steph is saying, I absolutely agree with the rhythm thing. You need to play and play a little time to find a rhythm in this league, because also, if you're subbing into the game, guess what? When you sub in at the 6-minute mark, I've been out there for 6 minutes already, finding the flow of the game, getting the jitters out.
Yeah.
You know, like I've been out there for 6. So now you're coming into that and you got to find a rhythm to do that in 2 minutes or 3 minutes against guys who's already been out there for 6 minutes.
It's tough.
It gets a little tough. And so what I will say is I totally understand Steve's theory. I totally understand why the rotation has been deep, and I wasn't necessarily totally against it. 13 deep, originally it was like 11 or 12. Now it's 13. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that can get a little tough, for sure. Yeah. But I'm also not going to sit here and like I said, I wholeheartedly
it's a method to it's a method,
right?
It's a method to the madness,
for
right?
sure. But I'm not going to sit and act like we lost 4 games in a row because the rotation was too deep. Like, nah, we ain't lose 4 games in a row because the rotation was too deep. I can tell you why we lost 4 games in a row. We lost 4 games in a row because we absolutely bombed one to San Antonio and lost an 18-point lead and midway through the third quarter. And then we absolutely bombed another one against the Brooklyn Nets.
Yep.
A 17-point lead in the third quarter. All right. And we're on a 4-game losing streak. So
y'all
there.
Third quarter team.
Exactly.
Y'all third quarter team too.
You take care of those 2 wins, all of a sudden we're on a 2-game losing streak.
Yeah, it's a different.
And we are 14-5 and in first place in the West. Right? So to overreact, and not that I think Steph is overreacting, because that is a sentiment. That's a real sentiment. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a real thing. But I mean out in the world of people that don't know what the hell they're talking about. I'm not going to overreact and try to pinpoint one thing, because those 2 games go the way they should have.
Yeah.
And now where you
it's like, the 13-minute rotation, the 13-minute
Steve's
rotation is wearing them out. But I mean, it.
Hold on, B. I will say this though. Here's what I will say. Now, when you look at the 13-man rotation, in those 2 games where I think, and I have not heard anyone make this argument, but I will help these people out that are trying to just throw Steve under the bus. I'll help them out if they want to make an argument, but I'm also only helping you out because most of y'all are dummies and y'all couldn't make the argument yourselves. And which is, if you want to condemn the rotation, then what your argument should have been is, well, when we lost those 18 and 17-point leads, a part of that 13 rotation was in, and Steph and Draymond and one. Now, if you want to make that point, that would more legitimize your argument as far as the rotation goes and what has happened in the last 4 games. But if you're just going to generally throw out, hey, man, it's a 13-man rotation and that's the problem, you don't have real evidence to back up your statement.
Not
the
at
real
all.
evidence is when they lost those leads, Steph and Draymond should have been back in earlier. If the rotation was shortened, Moses Moody was playing great, right? Like those would be the arguments. In saying that, those same guys that was on the court were the same guys that helped us get off to such a great start.
Yeah. And remember, I think we talked about this in one of the episodes. Everything is a learning curve, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that 13, you know what I mean? There's
Mm-hmm.
a winning combination in a confident 5 or 2 combinations of 5 that's super confident and got to go through, hey, man, we messed that up.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's not on Dray. It's not on Steph. You know, like my rookie year, when I was coming off the bench, I only had about a good 4 or 5 minutes to hit a jumper. If I don't make my first jumper, oh, bro, it's hell. It's tough. I better get a steal, something. You know what I mean? And so, like, that type of rhythm and flow, it's hard for even the bench guys to get into a rhythm. But once you kind of figure it out, like in that 5, you got a confident 5, and you got to go through some ups and downs during the season in order to know how to get past it. You know what I mean? In order to accept the responsibility. And I think it's smart to start off with 13 and say, hey, this is working. This is rolling. Okay, let's go to 11 in December. Okay,
yep.
January, we're at 11. We're going to 10 in January. February, we had 10. After All-Star Weekend, boom, I'm at 9.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then again, you don't know which combinations is going to be sticky too. And so I think when Steph is saying, you know, being predictable, he's saying even for himself, right?
Yeah.
I know I can do this. Boop, fake, go around the pick, dress Draymond. Well, who else is all, you know what I mean, in rhythm and in key with, in tune to what y'all doing. So I think the predictability is like, all right, some of you dudes need to sit on the bench and be ready still, but you need to see like, okay, this is how we're gonna pace ourselves from the rest of the year. You know what I mean? Because the 13 is like y'all been wearing people down, outrunning them, speed, you know what I mean? Playing at a high pace, you know, that as the season starts to go, you ain't going to be able to play at that clip. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's tough to sustain that. And that's, you know, I think that's pretty much what he's saying. And then I saw you and KD. I saw you hit the 3 and you said something to KD. And then he hit the 3 on you. And y'all was chopping.
Hey,
and then
I shot the first 3B on the left wing, and it felt so good. And Matt Ishby and Mo Cleese,
them your people.
Matt Ishby, my Spartan dog.
So
I shoot the first one on the wing, and I got K in front of me. I got them 2 sitting right in courtside behind me. And so I'm like, oh, I'm about to hit this 3, and I'm about to say something to K, and then I'm about to turn around, and I'm about to say something to Ish, and I'm about to say something to Mo Cleese, right? I've missed it. I'm like, ah! So we come back down the court, and I get to Tracy in the right corner. And K kind of closed out, but not aggressively closed out.
Yeah.
And so I hit the 3, and I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, you better close. I ain't missed it 2 in a row, K. You better close it. So then he started laughing. So then my dumb ass go help in. I go help in. They hit K in the corner. K 7 feet. You not affecting him with no shot contest. I come flying out. I get my corner contest. Wow. He like, all right, now, you know I shoot that motherfucker too now. and the banter was so good, man. We was bantering back and forth the whole game. And it was great banter, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
When I get the opportunity to play against K, and it goes back to my rookie year, when when KD had 54 on us and I got through in that fire late because he was dragging Harrison Barnes and dragging a couple other guys, and then I got through into that fire that was already blazing, and he continued on his way.
Yeah.
And he ended up with 54. I remember those. I still remember those matchups, and I remember the feeling that I had when I was going into those matchups. I wasn't Draymond Green, who's been a Defensive Player of the Year, an All-Star, an NBA champion. I was Draymond Green's second-round pick trying to make a name for myself. And the opportunity to play against Kevin Durant was one that I cherished because I have an opportunity right in front of me to go up against the game greats. And one of the greats. And when I would have the opportunity, it'd be like, man, this is my chance to show that I belong on this court with these types of guys. And if I can just make it hard on him, nobody's expecting me to come out and lock Kevin Durant. But if I can make it hard on him, like, man, I did my job tonight. So I still think about those matchups and where I was then. To be who I am now, I still have that same sentiment. When I go on the court and I play against Kevin Durant, I'm like, yo, I gotta sit down, like, because it's also an opportunity for me, still to this day, to see where I am defensively. Can I keep up with a KD? Can I make it a little tough?
For sure.
And so just having that battle, that banter was great, man. And I enjoyed the hell out of it.
I mean, he has some great stuff to say about you.
When Draymond's at his best, it's like a good balance between being ultra aggressive and being on edge and also just being a cerebral monster that he is. And I think he's found that balance even better. I feel like he always had it. Sometimes you tip the scales a bit, and I think he's found that balance as he's getting older, as he experienced more things in the league, more things in life in general. And you can just tell by the start of this season that he's playing his best ball. He's shooting the basketball well this year. I think over 40%. So you just tell, man, all his experiences up until this time has just helped him out and made him the player he is today.
Man, when I actually saw this quote after the game, I think the next day, and I was thankful. I was thankful. I was appreciative because, and I am always someone that addresses things head on. Last year, I got suspended with stuff with Nurkic, and KD said something that I didn't like because I was like, damn, K got my number. Like, you're going to go out publicly and feed this narrative of like, yo, I hope he get the help he need. I was upset about it, and I felt the way. And I was pissed. And, I saw KD in the offseason, and we chopped it up. We chopped it up, and man to man, face to face, we chopped it up. And I told him how I felt. He told me how he felt, and that, damn, I didn't think that would be seen that way.
Yeah,
I didn't think that would be taken that way. You know what I'm saying? And we talked about it. And then for him to come out and say this, when you share disdain with something for someone, with something that someone does, when you share that, don't be a hypocrite. And when they say something well, you don't appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Because when he said that, many things that most people say, they don't bother me. They don't affect me. I really don't give a damn.
Right.
KD is someone that KD say something, I care. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So I cared a lot when he said that about me last year. I'm not a hypocrite that's going to sit here and say, I don't care a lot that he said this. I care a lot that he said this.
Yeah.
And it means a lot to me and my personal growth. But also, anytime you hear from your peers,
man, that's the best
especially
thing in the world, bro,
that are as great as a Kevin Durant.
Come on, yo.
And you hear him say the cerebral monster that he is. He's playing his best basketball. He's found that balance of ultra aggressive and on the edge, but boom. When you hear that from your peers, especially one that you've gone to war with, won a championship with, and one opinion that really matters to you.
You know what it is.
I was extremely appreciative of this comment because it also is validation to me of the things that you are working on are showing. You know what I'm saying? KD, I said last year, KD was always he was someone that would say to me when people would say, "Yo, that's just Draymond being Draymond," he'd be like, "No, sometimes people give you that excuse." And he said these words to me verbatim before.
Yeah.
He said, "Yo, sometimes people give you the excuse of like, that's just Draymond being Draymond, but I know what Draymond looked like at his best." He said those words to me verbatim, right? And so to hear him say this as someone who I know will call me on my bullshit, you know what I'm saying? As someone
That's
who
your
I know will
homie.
say,
That's your brother,
that ain't
man.
just you being Draymond, that's you bullshitting.
Yeah.
As someone who I know would say that, because he has said that to me, for him to say this, it really meant a lot to me because it's your brother approving of what he see from you, but also, and just my personal growth, my personal journey, for him to see that, he saw when it was fucked up, and he said it.
Yeah.
So, and we don't like when people say bad things about us.
Man.
And he see it when it's going well, and he said it. And I respect that. I appreciate that because, again, you say what you want about Kevin Durant. He is Kevin Durant. He is one of the stars of not only this generation,
he is the ultimate cheat code, dude.
Absolutely. So I was very appreciative.
Somebody built Kevin Durant and a my player right before he was born.
Yeah.
And he wound up being Kevin Durant.
I'm going to take this guy. I'm going to make my guys. I'm going to create my player. He's going to be 7 feet. He's going to
with a handle, shoot
like
threes.
He's 6'2". Oh,
come on, yo. But I love this because, you know, you play your whole career and you have, you know, cross admiration for the dudes you compete against.
Absolutely.
Even the dudes you may deem you don't like or may not like. Like, remember when we was having Rondo, we was having a conversation with Rondo. It was like, man, I don't like Rondo. Why I don't like Rondo is because I love Rondo and I want to play like Rondo. I'm mad he gets layups. I'm mad you know what I mean? But it's all in admiration.
Yes.
Until you really get a chance to like see somebody give flowers. Not a lot of flowers being given out when you playing when you in the trenches with people because you just don't want to give somebody that edge. And so any type of acknowledgement from your peers, especially the greats, especially the real ones, right? Yeah. For me, I start learning to like accept that. Like, hold on, man. Like, damn, that's how, you know, because I love talking about great players, right? Yeah. And whether before you may have heard, like, I don't want to talk about him. Now, man, I just respect damn near every player in the league except for a few. Because it's like it's so hard to get there, but like they were great. You know what I mean? Yes. They were like their greatness was great, and like every day they showed up to practice, whether you were a bench player, whether you're a superstar. Now the superstars, they hold a lot more credence. And so when they talking about you and you walk in that room and they know you, you know what I mean? Them your brothers, they know you. You know what I mean? And so that just put a whole different type of battery pack. But I think it's also validation a lot of times because you don't get the flowers. Why? Like Draymond Green ain't getting the flowers that he deserves right now. LeBron James ain't getting the flowers he deserves. Steph Curry ain't getting the flowers he deserves. You know what I mean? Giannis, Kevin Durant ain't getting the flowers he deserves. Come on, bro. It's like when you play, nobody's ever like the kids, you know what I mean? The kids gonna love you. But the media, to me, has never been the validation.
No.
It's always your peers. Yeah, it's always your peers. But that's why I love like doing media now because now you got podcasters and former athletes and retired dudes. Like we know the game and we know who is real and we know who not real, you know, and so like having that admiration, shout out to KD, you know, for just big up in you, right?
I appreciate
and letting
the
people
hell out
know,
of it, man.
Yeah, letting people know like what it really is, right? Because a lot of times the media, y'all be playing games, and you know these are bonds and brotherhoods, and you know we our own little tight knit community. So you know it's just like that, like giving you your flowers in this moment in this time. It was really dope.
No, it was fire. I appreciated the hell out of it. Like I said, to your Rondo point, that was always me with Chris Paul before I played
Mhm.
with CP, where I'm like, yo, I hate dude. Like, but I would tell all my boys, like, yo, I don't mess with him at all, but I got the utmost respect
For
for him
sure.
as a
You have to.
competitor. I'm like,
Yeah.
I even when I didn't like C, when we was at odds,
Yep.
I said publicly, like, yo, people try to say CP not a winner. That's just not true. Like,
That's crazy.
you try to say this man not a winner because he hasn't
crazy.
had the luck to win a championship. Follow what I said. Because he
luck.
has not had the luck
luck.
of winning a championship. And you try to say this guy not a winner. I know a loser and I know a winner. And when I play against this guy, I'm not playing against a loser. I am competing against one of the ultimate winners.
Right.
But I hated him. You know what I'm saying? But a part of the hate was, bro, you be doing some of that shit I be doing, and I don't really like that.
I don't
bro.
like it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you be doing some of that stuff I be doing on the court, bro.
And
I
he
don't
can get
really
away
like
with
that.
it. And he get away.
Bro. So a part of it is like a little bit of jealousy. Like, man, y'all letting CP get away with this. I can't get away with nothing, right? Like,
CP, tap in.
but the admiration is, but the way this man compete when he on the court, like, I remember my rookie year with Jared Jack and CP played together in New Orleans. Jared Jack is my vet. And CP and Jack got in the argument. And then right there, I was like, that's interesting because they tight. Like, I know they got a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And they going back and forth, like arguing. And right then was when I noticed, like, okay, I see what type of dude he is. You know what I'm saying? He don't care I like you or not. He gonna try to take you out when he playing against you. And it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And so I definitely understand, you know, I agree with you on that. And that was a great moment for me. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm too big to appreciate a comment like that from Kevin Durant.
Man, come on.
I appreciated the hell out of that.
Man, we appreciate you, KD, man.
This episode is sponsored by Game Time Ticketing app. The start of the NBA season is underway, and you don't want to miss the hype atmosphere watching a basketball game live.
Energy of the fans at the beginning of the season is incredible, and Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. And it filters out of the fluff to show you incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets.
I like using the Game Time app when I want to attend a concert or comedy show. Game Time Ticketing app is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. I really like the all-in pricing because it shows how much I'm going to have to pay.
I'm looking at the Game Time app right now, and it's easy to find different tickets and different price points. The NBA season is beginning, and I know your favorite team is going to need your support.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code GREEN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code GREEN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. Hey, but moving ahead, big week ahead for us. Obviously, like I said, riding this 4-game streak. We have Denver coming up. Then Denver tonight. And then we got Houston. And then we got on a back-to-back, we got Houston. And then, or it's either Houston and Minnesota or Minnesota and Houston. Big week.
It's going to be tough.
I'm saying that. A tough week, especially riding a 4-game losing streak. Tough week. Facing Joker tonight. I won't obviously be able to face him, which sucks. But that's all, you know, when you're playing against the Joker, it's always a tough matchup because when Joker has the ball, he's one of the better scorers in our league. I think he's averaging right around 30 points a game.
Damn.
But when he has the ball, everyone on the court is live because he can find you and get the ball wherever you are if you're open.
Yep.
And so everyone else, when he has the ball, is live, as opposed to, say, let's just throw DJ out there. Let's say DeAndre, for that matter. If DeAndre got the ball, everybody not live because he can't necessarily make every play.
No.
With Joker, he can make every single play. So everybody on the court with him is live at all times.
And it's not even just on scoring. It can be on the pass. It can be on the pick. We've never seen something like Joker. A point center. Strictly like he's a center in a point guard body with a point guard brain. You know what I mean? With one of them brains that, you know what I mean? You got to be one of them ones to have one of them minds like that to be able to play the way he plays.
Yes.
It's so unorthodox, right? But
Absolutely.
if you watch, he's really just a point. He's really a point guard.
That's
He's really
a
a point. He's Andre Miller, dude. He's like Andre Miller in the like his mind. Andre Miller was brilliant. Like
brilliant.
Man, he knows how to set the table. And then at the end of the game, he gonna walk you down in the post. And then he gonna start setting the table. It's like Joker is live all over the pushing it, which is a slow push. You're not ripping him. You know what I mean? Like that Joker is something else, dude.
He is, man. He a tough cover. He a tough cover. And like I said, what makes him such a tough cover is, in most cases, you'd say, hey, that guy gonna get 30. It is what it is. You try to make it tough.
Yeah.
With him, he gonna get 30 and 12 assists.
That's
and
the
13 rebounds.
That's
and
the killer part.
He causes so much problems for your defense because of all of the things that he does. And the ball is touching his hand every possession.
Every time.
I wish I was out there to help with that matchup. But in saying that, good luck, Loon and Trace.
Let him get the experience.
I wish I could help. I always love, like I just said with Kay, I love playing against the Grace, man, just to see how you stack up that night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I want to be out there, but it's unfortunate I can't be. I got to get this calf together. I just don't want it to go south. So I got to get this thing together. It's tight right now. But good luck, Luna Trace.
Good luck, dude. Joker is my guy. I think they're going to learn a lot. You know what I mean? Especially Trace. He'll learn a lot. It's not the assists are not even like, they're not point guard assists.
No.
They're more potent because it's wide open shots or layups. So like, and it's coming from the big guy.
Yeah.
It's coming from the center. So to me, it's mind boggling because he can throw out a double team because he's going to get double teamed. But he also like hitting dudes on the backdoor cut. You know what I mean? But jumping in there, finding people open and like, that's his center, bro.
It's tough. It's great.
Man, now you got the Rockets coming in on Thursday. Second best team in the West. As you know, I picked them as my underdog, my sleeper, for the season. I mean, I like what they're doing. Talk to me a little bit about the Rockets. And like, y'all played them already, right?
Yeah, we played them without Steph, actually.
Yeah, and tell me what you see now. Oh, yeah, that was a good game. I remember that game.
Yeah, they came back. We ended up pulling it out in overtime, but they came back.
Yeah, Eaton. What was his name? Eaton. Yeah, he was
Tari
Easton. Yeah,
Tari Easton.
He was getting off. He
played really well. He played really well that game. But I'm not surprised at all that they're at the right there at the top of the West, second best record in the West right now. Because they've made moves over the last couple of years that showed you that that's where they want to be. Bringing in Fred VanVleet, who's a proven winner, a champion, bringing him in with all those young guys, bringing in a Dylan Brooks, who a lot of people hate, but you hate him because he play hard. You hate him because he always in the mix. You hate him because he gonna fuck with your best player. You know what I'm saying? Like you it's one of those guys you hate to have him on you hate to play against him. People love having them on their team, right?
Yes.
Like you bring in guys like that. Even a signing that they made last year that people don't talk about because he don't play much. Jeff Green.
Oh man, that was
huge. You bring that veteran presence into that locker room with all those young guys. That stuff matters. You know what I'm saying? Jalen, I talked about Jalen Green earlier in our season. I mean, our podcast season, and just the growth that I've seen from him. Sengun, like The guy who doesn't,
shit.
I'm going to tell you the guy who doesn't get talked about, but I'm telling you, and when I play against them, he is so important to what they do, but he don't get talked about at all much anymore. Jabari Smith Jr. Jabari Smith has turned into a guy who makes all the little plays, who he's always the guy that when you're on the court out there with them, he like, come on, fellas, we good. He reassuring them to keep going. Like, he's turning into like one of the leaders of that team. You know what I'm saying?
that.
And he don't get talked about much. But Jabari Smith Jr., you know what I'm saying? And so I'm not surprised that they're having a good season. And then also, obviously, Ime Udoka. You know what I'm saying?
Ime is different.
Ime's an incredible coach, man.
He's different.
You know, what you see in Boston, credit to Joe Mazzulla and what Joe
Mazzulla is dope too.
But what you see in Boston, those guys are also a product of what Ime brought to them for that year that he was with them. You know what I'm saying? And the mindset that he brought to those guys.
The attitude,
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not extremely surprised that that the Rockets are playing this well. And then just looking ahead to then Ant-Man and the Timberwolves after that.
Yeah.
They're starting to play better now. You know what I'm saying? They got off to a rough start.
Since he called them out.
Better. Yeah, they're starting to play better as of late. And so that's going to be a tough weekend as well. But on the flip side, when you look at tough games like this and us on a 4-game losing streak, you can also win those games and right the ship. Like, it's one thing, you know what I'm saying? It's one thing to beat a team that has an awful record and think like, oh, man, we got off the losing streak. But to have to get off the losing streak
with one of the ones
we're going to be playing against, those are the type of things that can right the ship and right the ship in a major way and send you on the run.
Yes, sir.
As tough as the opportunity is, just like when you invest your money or anything else in life, the bigger the risk, the tougher it is, the bigger the reward, the bigger the return. So tough week for us.
And then not having you tonight, now you start looking at that 13-man rotation and you say, oh, now a fan can say, okay, well, Draymond is out. Like, we got other players that have been playing, you know what I mean, that can do stuff.
Absolutely.
And like now we feel like, okay, we still got a shot because we've been playing 13. You know what I'm saying?
100%. So
hell yeah, bro.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. I like,
I like that.
13,
like
12-7 or something like that. We'll be all right.
Yeah, and it's early. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't even hit 20 games yet.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So,
Not yet.
It's that 30-game mark. It's the 30-game mark and the 40-game mark. Once you hit the 30-game mark, okay, these next 10 games are the most critical games that we can play when you get to that 40 game, because then you know how many games you can win, how many games you can lose, if you make the playoffs or not. That's when them calculations start setting in. Yeah, for sure.
So it's all good. Man, let's dive into what's going on around this league. My brother, there has been a lot of talk about Bron, the shooting slump that he's been in as of late. He scored just 10 points against the Timberwolves, but he did have 27 and 14 against the Jazz. However, the 27 and 14, he still had a rough shooting night, not hitting any threes. People have been on him not hitting threes as of late, I think. The last I seen, he was 0 for his last 19. And so, of course, all the Father Time conversations have started up.
Not yet.
Everybody wants to know, is Father Time catching up with Bron? The answer is yes.
Absolutely.
And the reason the answer is yes is because every year we get older in this league, like every year you get older, there's a point where you come in this league, and every year you get older, you get better because you get more experience, you're coming more into your prime, you're getting stronger. And then it gets to a point to where every year you get older, you have to address and adjust. And because now you're kind of over the hill of the more experience you get, the better it is for you. You're kind of over that hill now. And so is Father Time catching up to him? Absolutely, because Father Time catches up to everyone. However, what where I disagree is people are saying, we just saw it. He's done now. We've been waiting on it. Now he's done. No. I disagree with that. Quite frankly, what it looks like to me right now is he's a little tired. But you also have to remember, and I know all of y'all have forgot because you forget things so fast. But what you have to remember is, they played into the playoffs last year. They fought an uphill battle to actually make it there and get to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes in and he does the Olympics.
Yep.
And that is a two-month requirement.
No time off, FYI.
No time off. And so what I think right now is I think Bron has just hit a little bit of a wall right now.
Mm-hmm.
When you hit walls, you eventually get through the wall.
Bingo.
But right now, I think he's a little tired and has hit a wall. Does that mean Father Time is catching up to him?
Oh, yeah.
The way y'all are saying it? No. So, still the same Bron. Obviously not the same. Of course, again, he is getting older. But the way people are trying to throw it out there, like Father Time has caught him and it's here in our face, and we're just about to watch this decline happen. No shit. But what's your thoughts, BD?
Bro, there is no decline. Usually, when you get older, right, you do a lot, less.
Absolutely.
Right? As you get older, you become a much better shooter. You usually are getting shots created for you by someone else who's young, talented, got, the most talent, and used to be you. Look at Ray Allen. People only remember Ray Allen from Miami, but before that, Ray Allen used to do everything. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
LeBron James, bro, is still playing the same way. He is creating the opportunities still for his teammates. Ain't nobody getting LeBron no open looks. Ain't nobody getting LeBron no easy buckets. Like, he's still creating all of he has to create all the energy and the chaos and take it on his shoulders. You know what I mean? Because there hasn't been the young dude that has come along that compliment and say, you know what, OG, man, fall back. Let me get this triple-double. You go give me some threes and do what you got to do. He don't have that luxury. And he's on a team with the Lakers where he's still, the best all-around player.
100%.
The most, you know what I mean? Outside of AD, he is the most needed person because they got to glue up around him. And so, slump, yes. Tired, yes. Father Time, yes. All of those things play into everybody's career every year in the season, whether you're a rookie, second year. Like, everybody hits a little snag where it's just like, hey, man, it's cold. You know what I mean? It's cold in these arenas. I ain't getting the shots. You know what I mean? I ain't getting my rhythm. But you best believe when the Lakers play again, he gonna get over that slump. I'm not even worried about it. You know what I mean? And so, I remember playing against Mike, bro, when he played for the Wizards. And, he came into Charlotte and it was like, that was the craziest shit I'd ever seen. There was no camera phones, but it was all kind of camera flashing and felt like everybody was recording with a camera phone. That's how many cameras was flashing when he went to the free throw line. And I was sitting there like, damn, man, I had 32 that night. And in my mind, I was like, damn, bro, like, I'm Michael Jordan tonight. You know what I mean? I am your captain now. And I was just looking at him like, yeah, okay. Just, sizing him up like, man, you brought all this attention for me. I'm out here. I'm Michael Jordan tonight. You feel me? Bro, I was on
bet you
one.
ain't say that to MJ.
No, I didn't say nothing. No way. No way. I would never say nothing. I was just giving him that look like, bro, you brought all this for me? Cool.
I'm here too.
Yeah. They gonna be worrying about me tonight. And then we go on the road and we're playing the Washington Wizards. And we got Washington. They wasn't that good either. We like, man, we about to go in here. We about to pop them again. I'm about to give me another, I'm about to give me another 25, 12. I'm going to do it different on the road. Man, I watched this dude in the first quarter score 17 points.
Oh, he went off.
Draymond, I watched. I was not participating, bro. I was so mesmerized. I was guarding T. Lou. Hey, bro. Hey, if you watch the clips, you'll see me. Never help. Never help. And the coach called a timeout. He like, yo, what the hell y'all doing? Y'all just gonna let this man get cooked? It was Lee Nayland. I said, damn, bro, my bad. I was just watching. Like I was
just watching.
I got your help. I was like, man, I got your help. Let me get him. So I guard him the first time. I know he going to the fade. So boom, he go to the fade and I'm on top of the fade. He go to fade. I'm like, man, get that shit. And he leaned back, Dre, like another inch and shoot the ball. Wham. Okay. All right. Man, I got this fool. He go to the post again. Boom, I know this shit coming. You about to turn to the middle. Whoop, whoop. He turn to the middle. Oh, up and under. Layup. Hey, somebody else get this. I'm going back over here with T. Lou. I'm about to watch. I'm cool. This is not cool. Hey, dude, that's what, and you know, you see somebody like Mike like that and LeBron, like it's the same thing. It's like, be careful because they gonna remember. But that Mike story was like, damn, dude, like I'm just watching him. I'm like, damn, dude, what kind of cologne you got? Like, what kind of cologne? This nigga smell good as shit out here. You know what I'm like? Yeah, you know, like you bro, you caught off.
He had that weak ass Michael Jordan cologne.
All that bullshit Michael Jordan cologne.
Penny when I was a
but
kid.
whatever it was, Michael Jordan was so, he was like an enigma, dude. He was like it was just like, oh shit.
It's MJ.
You fucked. Soon as you do that, you fucked. You can't, like, but you're gonna do that. Oh, damn, this is Michael Jordan. You're like, hi, Michael Jordan. Like, fuck you. You know, Mike talks shit to everybody.
Asshole.
But dog, imagine like your favorite player, the dude you idolize. Like, you know what I mean, dude? You watch on TV. And you like, yo, I'm in the league. Like, what's up, Michael Jordan? You like, shut the fuck up.
Nah, I feel that. That's what happened to me with Kobe. The same thing happened
Kobe,
to me with
did
Kobe.
you like that?
Same thing happened to me with Kobe, bro. I'll never forget it. I got subbed in. Number one, I watched this whole workout and missed everything that I was supposed to do. I was like, then I got subbed in. I needed to get the stop. And I got the stop on the game-winning shot. I got the stop. He missed the fadeaway. And I was like, hell yeah. That ain't had nothing to do with you, young fella. I just missed. I said, man, yeah, that has something to do with me. You just missed. I just missed.
Man, that's sick.
I get it. Trust me, I get it. So I know exactly how that feel.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, since we've been talking about the Moheads and the GOATs, shout out to MJ, shout out to LeBron. We looking at ESPN 25 under 25 list. I really hate putting numbers next to people. You know what I mean? But you always, you know, you got to rank. You got Wemby at 1, top 5 Wemby, Anthony Edwards, Paolo, Franz Wagner, Chet Holmgren. And then after that, Tyrese Halliburton, Maxey, Evan Mobley, Jalen Williams, and Sagoon. That's the top 10. Out of the top 10 is Scotty Barnes, LaMelo, Cade Cunningham, Zion, Brandon Miller, ahead of Zion,
Darius Garland.
Yeah, Darius Garland. I mean, obviously the order is wrong. But a lot of times, you know, people are just judging off talent and not off of what the actual work they putting in. You know what I mean?
1,000%. I hate these lists.
Yeah,
I hate these lists.
Yeah, I hate the list, dude.
I hate these lists with a passion because, okay, so Dyson Daniels is having a pretty good season, really good season with Atlanta. Just 2 months ago, no one believed in Dyson Daniels. Now he's 23 on the list.
Yeah.
No
Right.
Cam Thomas. That's a notable.
That's crazy.
That's a notable one that's
That is a
been left
very
off.
notable one.
What justifies Tyrese Halliburton being in front of Jalen Williams? Because don't get me wrong, I think Tyrese Halliburton is a very good player. I think he's obviously an all-star.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tyrese Halliburton, Olympic gold medalist, Tyrese Halliburton doing it, he putting it together.
Why isn't he higher?
But when I look at, he is higher than Jalen Williams. But when I look at, when you say ESPN 25 under 25, I think Jalen Williams has more upside. Jalen Williams is 6'9", can pass the ball, can shoot the ball, can get to the cup. 2 weeks ago, played center for 2 weeks, and then switches to point guard.
Yeah,
and
he's sick.
When I look at stuff like this, I'm just like, but who validates that? Because yes, Tyrese has done more, right? But Jalen Williams, I think the upside is I think the upside of Jalen Williams is, by the way, not just Tyrese Halliburton. I think the upside of Jalen Williams is higher than a lot of people on this list.
A lot of people on the list.
Like, it ain't just Tyrese Halliburton. I'm just saying, for instance.
Like, think about Tyrese Halliburton. All-star.
For sure.
Olympic gold medalist, and he's
for
7.
Sure.
He's 7. So if based on accomplishments,
if I'm
Tyrese,
it clearly ain't based off that.
Yeah, if I'm Tyrese, I'm like, yo, this makes no sense. Why am I 7?
Exactly.
When you look at my resume versus everybody else under 25, I got the resume. Wemby, Anthony Edwards, Paolo, I can get with them.
Cool.
But I am also upset that how is LaMelo Ball not number 1?
Who's also an all-star?
He should be number 2. If they say, okay, Wemby is he has the next opportunity to be the most phenomenal. LaMelo Ball, I'm biased, bro, but nobody is fucking with LaMelo Ball. You hear me?
I know you biased.
No,
I know you biased.
Hey, there's Steph, you know what I mean? And then when LaMelo came, oh man, LaMelo Ball.
I know you biased.
Hey,
and by the way, I love Melo game. I love Melo game. But BD, don't get off track. Don't get this list, bro. Like, it's just not justified by anything. Okay, so instance, if we're going to say resume, right, with Tyrese, which again, I'm a big Tyrese fan, so I'm not taking anything from Tyrese. I don't want it to come off that way. But if you're taking resume into account, Darius Garland's also an all-star.
He also all-star.
Zion Williamson was also an all-star.
Yep.
So you can't necessarily be taking in like the resumes into account because there's non-all-stars higher than all-stars.
Bingo.
And so I hate these lists because
there is no basis for it. Right? There's
like what's the criteria?
What is the criteria? Shout out to the Iceman, George German. I asked him about Hall of Famers every All-Star weekend, and you know what his response is? What is the criteria?
What is the criteria?
So we have to start having some type of criteria, or else, this list don't make no goddamn sense at all.
It just don't. So
I mean, Jalen Johnson having a hell of a year, but he won behind Zion. Like Zion is Zion, bro. Like, what are you guys talking about? Like, what is it based on?
And then this list comes from ESPN, right? Here's where it gets too contradictory for me. This list comes from ESPN. They say Zion's the 16th best, 25 under 25. And I just watched on ESPN last week, Tim McMahon said Zion should be cut. He said Zion's contract
hey, bro, I heard
is drawn up so that he is cuttable. He could be released. And then ESPN.
And everybody in the league gonna want him. What are you talking about?
But aside from everybody else in the league want him, the very publication that just has someone from their core group of people that cover this sport just has someone up there that said this man should be cut. That same publication then puts him as the 16th best, 25 under 25. What is the validate? Like I hate these lists. They are so stupid, man.
It's just like you just picking names out of a hat, or you just asking people around the office, like, who are your favorite players? It's almost like, who are your favorite players? That's what it looks like.
1,000%.
Who are your favorite players? Rank your favorite players 1 through 25. But like, not to throw no jabs at ESPN, but god damn, man, they've been, they've been doing it for a long time. But as you get, as we get more into this next gen, this new generation, we got to have some validation metrics, or they have to reveal who are the people deciding on this vote. But it's good for debate, though. Because they're off. They're way off. They're way off. They're way off. We ain't gonna argue with you, ESPN. We just gonna argue about the list. How about that? And LaMelo Ball is 12.
No,
LaMelo Ball
I'm sorry.
is the swag. He is the swag. He is who on there got game swag? Wemby, okay. Who on there got game swag, bro?
Ant-Man.
Not like LaMelo.
Ant-Man different. Come on now.
Man, Ant-Man. I love
Ant-Man different.
He is different. But I think Ant-Man going in the wrong direction, bro.
You think? Explain that.
He's not making Minnesota exciting to watch. He don't drive to the hole enough. We still love him because he's talented.
But you don't think he's taking that next step?
No. I think he's taking steps. And like, he improving his game. He ain't took the leap.
Mm-hmm.
He don't need to be taking no goddamn steps. He need to go jump out there, do more. I just want to see him do more. Right? Because when I go watch Minnesota, it's like, yeah, he balling, right? But you're not you got to be the reason why you win every game.
Yeah.
You got to be the reason why every game is won. It's got to be fear when Ant-Man walk in the building, and it's got to be a mystique like, oh, he going to dunk on somebody, we going to see some shit, or we're going to see this, like, incredible performance. How old is Ja Morant, by the way?
Ja Morant is now over 25, if I'm not mistaken.
Ja Morant got that shit. You feel what I'm saying?
25, under 25, so I think Ja could be 25.
But he probably turned the city.
But I would have loved to see where they would have put Ja on this list.
Yeah,
I would have loved to see that. I think they should have had 25-year-olds still on the list, but I get it.
I do too. I want to see Ant make that next step. You know who I do like? Franz Wagner.
Franz Wagner's a problem.
Hey, dog, he is a problem. I ain't seen nobody be. He's a mismatch problem. He's the ultimate mismatch. Like, I was watching him work, boy. That boy works. You know what I mean? He worked.
Mm-hmm.
He worked. He can score. He's a scorer. He's gonna be one of those dudes who wind up with 15,000 points, 20,000 points. He just know how to find a good bucket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He knows how to find himself a good bucket. Shout out to him. Obviously, Jalen Johnson, I know Jalen Williams. But the Cam Thomas stuff, man, I think Cam Thomas should have been on this list.
I agree. But before we get out of here, get at me. Get at me. Fans, we always want to hear from you. BD and I would answer your questions every week, so make sure you submit them on social. It may make it on the pod.
At Davis_Joshua. Draymond, now that you've been in the league for 13 seasons, is there another player in the league that you see similar to yourself?
Is there another player in the league I see similar to myself? I see guys that have some of what I do, but I don't see guys that have all of what I do, if I'm honest. I see guys that's like, oh, man, he got it defensively, but maybe not necessarily the playmaking, or he got the playmaking, but can't necessarily check, or Like, so I've seen guys that I'm like, man, I like this guy. He do X, Y, and Z. But I don't quite think I've seen anyone that do all of what I do. Just my opinion.
Grant
Y'all may
Williams.
think otherwise. That's disrespectful, BD. That's so disrespectful. I'm not sure what I do that he do any of. That's disrespectful.
Cut.
That's disrespectful, man. That's crazy.
I mean,
That's crazy, man. Wow. That's good.
Hey, bro,
I really wish Grant Williams a speedy recovery from his injury. But that's
but they look up to you, bro.
And I appreciate guys looking up to
pattern
me.
their game. He's not similar to you. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of these guys who like, man, I could be a Draymond Green.
And
you know what I mean?
I love that guys think that. I think the common
there's no
mistake that
Draymond
some
Green.
people
You're a
make,
one of one. You're a one
I
of
think
one.
the common mistake they make though is if you're trying to pattern yourself to be Draymond Green, the common mistake that people make is when I came into the league, I was a scorer.
Yeah.
So you can't just like raise a kid from the age of 12 and be like, yo, I want you to be just like Draymond Green. Because then what you end up missing is you end up not allowed. No, yeah, it's a compliment for sure, and I take that compliment. What I'm saying is sometimes this is something that I've come across. I see parents telling their kid, like, yo, I want you, like, you should watch film of Draymond and try to be just like Draymond. And I never talk about this, but I always kind of want to throw it out there, which is, but don't teach that kid not to score. Because that's a role that I had to take on at this level in order to be successful in the situation that I was in.
You evolved into that.
Absolutely. But like,
you evolved, like, bro, I got to tell you, you're a one-on-one, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're a one-on-one, you're a mode.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So there'll never be another Draymond Green, ever.
No, I appreciate that, bro.
It'll never be, it'll always be somebody be like, damn, I really fuck with him. Or damn, I really like how he get down. There's always going to be something that reminds you of the ones you really gravitate to and like. But they're never going to be you because you're a mold. You dig what I'm saying?
For sure.
And so when you're a one-of-one, like you're a one-of-one mode, everything that comes after you is looking at you and saying like, oh, this is my path to do this. This is how I can do it. And shout out to them for choosing you as a mode, right? Sure. Because they're never going to be you. And so the greatest way, right, for you not to be Magic Johnson, right, or me not to be Magic Johnson was to try my best to follow somebody who's a one-on-one. So I can create my own thing. You know what I mean? And so I was just giving you flowers, bro.
I appreciate that, bro.
You're a mode. You know what I mean? So all these young dudes is they're looking at Draymond Green as a mold.
Yes, that's true.
A one-of-one piece of art. That's like, how the fuck did he
100%.
paint this way? Bingo.
100%. No, and like I said, I see guys around the league like with some of the stuff that I do, you know, and I'm like, wow, I really like that, you know, that guy is taking that on. You know what I'm saying? But
you'll start recognizing it more. You'll start recognizing it more now, right? You'll start recognizing it. I think like as you get older, like you'll start seeing it in dudes and even dudes on the other team, you're going to start giving them little, oh, okay. I see this dude probably studied me. You know what I mean? And like he would, like when you got into it with the kids in Washington.
Yeah.
Oh man, you got to think you a mole, bro. And them kids is like, they're like, man, I can't wait to get to the league. I wish that fool would say something to me. I'm going to let him know I'm cut like you. And how many people tell you, bro, I'm cut just like you?
All the time. Jose Alvarado, as soon as he came in the league, he like, Dray, I'm cut like you.
Bro, you're a mole. You're a mole. That's it. That's the show. He'll be a Hall of Famer, legend, and you have now somebody's going to create their own custom shoe off your mold.
I appreciate that, brother.
My dog.
Hey, man, I got one question for BD before we get out of here, and it comes from Sonny I'm just going to spell this. Y'all not going to make a fool out of me. At SUNNIQUADERIN 4717. Sunny Quad Aaron is what it looked like it says to me. I don't know.
Sunny
Baron, what
Quadrant.
play? Sunny Quadrant.
Yeah.
Okay. Sunny Quadrant 4717. Baron, what play do you feel was the most iconic of your career? I'm going to answer that question for you. It's the Baron Davis dunk on Andre Karolinko.
Enough
But
said.
can you give me a play that embodies you? And again, this is Sunny Quadrant's question. A play that fully embodies you as a player. Who you are or who you were as a player.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it was the Karolinko dunk that just fully embodied. I think it embodied my energy. There's a play that I made in my first playoffs that I was like the man. I had a triple double against Orlando. And there was a play that I made where I caught the ball, dribbled, put it behind my back, spun twice, spun again, shot a bank shot. You know what I mean? And it was like I never really get credit for like the handles or the moves or the passes. And so like something like that, I would probably say like embody my game more. Like people just like I used to dunk because I used to want to make it on ESPN. You know what I mean? You had to like figure out a way to get a highlight. And, you know, making passes and shaking people wasn't really the thing. But that would be, you know, it was against T-Mac. I hit him with the spin, another spin, boom, scissor kick, bank shot. That was just like, oh, okay, BD got some pearls.
Fire. It most definitely did. Your cross
But
was crazy,
Karolinko was
too.
like the one that was like, boom, like that gave me the name.
Yeah, that was crazy. I've seen that play a million times, being that I'm a dog.
Yep.
I've seen that play a million times. But that is a wrap from this episode of the Draymond Green Show with my dog BD, the OG. We out.
Love, bro. We out.
Y'all keep tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Peace.
Peace.